Hello, welcome back. We got some alteration research done. So, one target down, next one's Conjuration 5. I've made sure we have enough to get to Conjuration 4 this turn, but I'm not sure if that actually gives us anything. Possibly not. I suppose we can start doing Voice of Apsu, that's about it though. Maybe some of the national spells are good, I don't know. Although, we don't have a D3 mage or a E1 D1 mage, so... maybe we can try contacting a Jigami? Maybe. Otherwise though, same targets, keep going. Did some more summons, didn't find any sights this turn. Saw a bunch of battles. I have not watched any of these yet, so let's see what they are. We have Lemuria attacking... oh. This isn't too interesting looking. That is... wait, do these things not have item slots? That seems odd. Oh, I mean, I guess he just doesn't have item slots then. Okay. This guy's in the Hall of Fame with heroic precision. Yeah, okay. So we have Lima Consort into some PD. I guess this is going to go fine for him. He's casting some spells. Right, let's see. I'm going to assume these mundane dudes cannot even hurt this guy. He's ethereal, he's got chill aura. He's regenning. Yeah, I mean, let's just hit N a few times. Let's see how this ends up. Everyone around him is asleep. Okay, well, there we go then. So there's one battle for Lemuria. Next up we have Gol Ripe. Okay. This is a lot more PD. We got... is that another Lima guy over here? Yep. I guess these guys just don't have item slots, which seems kind of odd. This one has a limp. Your heroic ability is agility. We have like a Acetate down here. Has this been stolen from Atlantis? Pretty funny. Alright, is this just another victory? This guy didn't bless himself? What? He's a bit cocky. Don't even put up your cool bless. I guess he doesn't need it then. Alright. Fine, whatever. Okay, there's another victory for Lemuria, I assume. Yep. Nice stuff. And then we have Lemuria into Agartha. Is this a Fort Storm or no? Just another Lima console. This guy is crippled and weakened, so... do you bless yourself at least? Yes, okay, this one blesses himself. So can a crippled, weakened one of these things take a province? Let's find out. No, actually. That's kind of surprising. Wow, that guy did nothing. That's really... okay. Who even got the kill? It doesn't say anyone got a kill. I'm so confused. Wait, isn't he ethereal? Hang on. How did you take so much damage if you're ethereal? I mean, I guess they don't have much protection when if something does go through ethereal. You just get hit by a bunch of crossbow bolts and die. Okay, he's starting to get... that is just crossbows. Steel crossbows. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of crossbow damage. Oh, maybe he had a ton of fatigue because of the crippled status? I'm gonna watch this one more time. I'm just... just curious how an ethereal unit dies so easily when all of the other ones have been crushing. No, you still have no encumbrance because you're undead. Okay. It's just kind of surprising how easily they kill that one, because all the other ones are, I mean, all the other ones are just walking over stuff. I guess crossbows are no joke, huh? Alright, well, good to know. Events then. Here's a really cool event. So, in Giant's Rest, we got a free lab. and then we got an Adept of Pyrophlegeton and 2 Pyromancers. Now this is cool because the Adept is F3, which means he could cast Flaming Arrows with 1 Fire Gem if he gives himself Phoenix Power. Or he could also do 2 and do it on turn 1, which would also be kind of cool. So over here, yeah, we got a bunch of F1 mages and then Bune the Adept. He is old age, unfortunately, which isn't surprising since he's a fire mage. Tends to lower your max age a bit. But I'm going to walk him over towards our armies. He can be a nice Flaming Arrows caster for us. In Jomon, we also got 25 province income as well, which is nice. Since, you know, we are kind of killing all of our population over here. And then we got a national hero too. One of my favourite types of national hero, the national hero that's basically just some guy, you know. His big thing is that he paints his armor red. Pretty cool. He does have +1 inspirational on top of being a great leader, so lots of morale. Still only 10 map move though. Got a bit of fear as well. Okay. Try and use him. That's it for messages though. And yeah, same plan still. Just going to briefly mention before we go any further that the Discord channel for this game has a lot of messages that have appeared overnight. I'm going to sum up for you by saying that pretty much every player in this game is currently at war either with Lemuria or invading Pythium for some reason, which I think is because of Calum. So yeah, there's sort of big wars happening in this general area, I believe. Which is good for us, you know. You can see Atlantis is currently sieging one of Lemuria's forts here, while Lemuria sieges one of Burgerus's. I'm not sure who's getting the better of which war. I think there was a giant battle somewhere this turn between 2 people who weren't even at war. It might have been Lemuria and a god, I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of chaos happening in this part of the world, which I guess is good for us. That definitely means people aren't looking at us just yet, which is nice. Anyway, besides that, things are still pretty steady. Still just moving things into these 2 positions. I guess I'll attack Tianxi pretty soon. I mean, it's now or never, right? Interestingly, he seems to have a lot of his units built up right next to us here, which is maybe... I mean, this is a lot of those ancestor vessels. So maybe we can knock out quite a few of those early on if we, well, if things go well. But I guess we'll see if they go well or not. I almost have scouts through all here. We're getting 3 more into World Pillar this turn, and there's 3 there currently, so... yeah, they're going to start kind of filtering through. But, I mean, this looks like a pretty complete picture of their territory now, so... we can decide whether or not we want to try attacking them. Just as a precaution, I've scripted stuff in Gamer so that it's kind of set up to fight this stack. Just in case he moves into me for some reason. So, positioning is slightly different. Got 2 groups of sharks at the back, mostly just to kind of soak up attention from anyone that might be set to attack rear. And then we've got some archers as well, also at the back. And then in the middle, kind of more clustered together, are all the flying units in the center. And then lots of the Soheis around them. And inside the center, we've got lots of these earth mages, all doing earth power and lightning resistance, basically. Oh, I should put these flying units into a squad as well. But yeah, we're just laying down lots of lightning resistance in the middle. We have a fire mage here who's doing flaming arrows, and my god is doing some wind guide and then just casting spells. I guess I can give you the flying units, why not? Do I need hold? Yeah, I do, don't I? I should set all those things to hold and attack rear, so that they can get buffed with lightning resistance. That probably makes more sense. I think that looks okay though, right? Besides that, we have my Prophet Blessing, which is a bit unnecessary because my god's in the battle. And that's it. Don't really have many more mages than that. But things are ready if we want to attack, which will be pretty soon. I'm just going to wait till these last 2 things get to Gamer, and we have these Soheis plus these priests arriving in Nardigo this turn. We're also still doing summons, so got a few flying units here. Just need to bring the priests over so that we can always bless all this stuff. And then go time, I suppose. Well, we'll see anyway. That's the turn. But that's turn 25, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. We got some conjuration done. We're up to 4 now. A few turns until we get 5. A lot of our mages are moving around now since we're going to move into Tianqi's territory. So it might be a little bit of time, but that's okay. It will be nice when we get this. When we get to Conjuration 5, we'll have the big earlies, and we already have Cloud Trapeze as well. So whenever we get Ryujin with A2, they can Cloud Trapeze into enemy provinces and just take them with earlies, probably. That'd be quite good. Might be like 3 or 4 more turns now, though, unfortunately. Did some more Tengu summoning. Found another magic site in Zenthra. This is a mineral cave, which is 1 more earth gem, which is nice. Bogris has a new prophet. Vienna soon. And then we can see more sort of Lemurian fights. Bogris just taking a province off them, and another province off them. They moved into Agartha here in Ruina, but yeah, it's just like a few things into a giant stack, so that is here. I get the feeling Lemuria might be on the back foot at this point, although they still hold this, which is interesting. I would have thought Atlantis could easily take that back, but who knows. Atlantis is sieging Lemuria here still, so I don't know. Valgard we got 3 earth gems, and Kedra we got 9 fire gems. Yeah, and that's it for messages. So we're going to move into Tianqi this turn, mostly here. So I'll just cover the other like miscellaneous stuff first. We have our these guys are still sitting in this province, just kind of providing a little bit of force in this region. This is where a lot of our site searches are at the moment as well. We're site searching Pepper Plain this turn, and we just found a site in Zenthra. Gonna move to Silvergrove next. Got the Fire Mages still on their way over as well. I did forge some Boots of Long Strides recently, so that'll give that big Fire Mage a little bit more map movement if they want to get over to us a bit quicker. But they're still kind of on their march. And up here, we're still doing some recruitment. Still getting Astral Mages, trying to get an N2 one, but we haven't had any luck yet. But we're putting together an army in Epernia currently. So this is a bit smaller than the other one, but we have some blocks of Soheis and Tengu all here. Some archers back here. And this army has a few people casting Bless, a few people casting Lightning Resistance, and 1 Fire Mage casting Flaming Arrows. And that's all. But, it's a nice little army. It's not nearly as threatening as the big army over here, but that'll meet up in Epernia, and it can do some threatening along this region. I'm going to do more kind of defensive posturing than anything, though. Just to make sure that he can't easily just raid into this territory without bumping into something substantial. I was tempted to move this to Muspel instead and threaten to attack up this direction, but I don't know, it'd be a bit of a bluff, because I don't think it's big enough to really take on any kind of substantial army. Maybe I'm wrong, though. I don't know. We do have a really, really nice Bless for anything that isn't, isn't sacred or has a magic bow, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know. But now that it's meeting up in Epernia, it'll threaten into World Pillar, I suppose. Then we got 3 attacks happening in this region. Witch's Copse is interesting because there's a fort being built here. So I would like to just smash that now. Cost Tianqi kind of 600 gold. There's an argument to be made to leave it until it's built and then take it, but I don't know. It just seems kind of pointless. I'd rather just knock it over. I don't particularly want to move into this province though, because it can only move... Well, I mean, it only connects to Gamer and Kareen, so if you move into this, you're kind of stuck having to go to Kareen next. Makes where you're going to go quite obvious. So I'm just going to attack Witch's Copse with a small force. There's 12 Soheis and 2 people to bless them. And that'll be that. So if this stays small, it looks like it's 6 points of PD. Some Barbarians. If it stays like that, we should be able to take that anyway with just those handful of troops. So that'll be okay. On the other hand, if a bunch of stuff moves back into this province, then I guess we fail, but we'll give it a shot. Shadowsea's getting my god, so he'll be Ethereal with Mistform, Astral Shield, 130 hit points. Probably could have given him some sort of miscellaneous item, but he's fine anyway. It'd be nice to take Earthfall after that as well, just stay in Dominion. That'd be really useful as well, because my god's then going to help push some Dominion in this region. Sermiok only has 2 Dark Candles, so if we're over here with our god, we might actually spread some Dominion up here, which would be quite useful. Especially since the big army now moving into Blue Coast does have a sort of load-bearing prophet. My prophet is kind of the linchpin of this army since we need him to bless all these sacred troops. So if he dies, it's kind of bad. So taking him outside of Dominion is going to be pretty awkward. This army has a bunch of rows of Soheis though. Not sure how to position stuff with this army exactly, because we basically just want to get on the enemy archers as quickly as possible, but we also want to stand still and get buffed with lightning resistance, so it's kind of mixed priorities, unfortunately. So we're on sparse line, which helps us to not get hit by as many arrows, but makes us harder to buff. Yeah, just a bit awkward, kind of trying to figure out how to script into enemy archers. But we've got lines of Soheis and then blocks of Tengu here. And same sort of script as the smaller army. We have Earth Mages doing Earth Power, Lightning Resistance, and then some sort of buffs. So Nature Mages doing Wooden Warriors, Water Mages doing Quickness. We've also got a Fire Mage doing some Flaming Arrows, and an Air Mage doing some Wind Guide. We've got some nice buffs. I also gave that, what is this again? Standard of the Damned to Wednesday action figure to do some Drain Lives as well. And yeah, the Tengu are just on hold and attack archers, so they should hopefully just fly straight onto those sacred archers, which would be nice. The Soheis are on attack archers, attack closest, attack rear, and attack cavalry, just to try and mix things up, and our archers are on fire archers. Yeah, they're scripted to fight an actual army, which could happen. I have no reason to suspect that it will, but, you know, this stack could move into Blue Coast, potentially. I don't know, we'll see. We're scripted ready to fight it anyway. But yeah, we'll just see what happens from this point on. It would be really nice to push some Dominion here so that my Prophet isn't super vulnerable. I should probably move a Water Mage over to the Steel Ovens and make Coral Blade, which is one of these really simple items that just gives you more hit points. Because once my Prophet goes out of Dominion, he might end up really low on hit points, and yeah, it'd be nice if he stayed alive. But really that's it for now. First move in the war. We'll just see how things go. If we have a lot of force here, I mean, we're going to keep doing summons and keep recruiting Soheis, so we can keep building up the secondary army. And if that can provide threat here, then potentially it'll be in an awkward spot, because I would like to just push the big army on and take these forts, while he's just kind of paralyzed. If he tries to chase me, I can use my second army to threaten his capital. And if he doesn't chase me, well then I just take these exterior forts for free, pretty much. That's the plan. Whether or not it works like that, I don't know. And once we get to Conjuration 5, yeah, we can... If we get another one of these Ryujin with A2, we can just start cloud trapezing them over to these random provinces and capping them with rallies, probably. Which would also be quite nice. My god can start flying over to these lakes too and take those when they get a bit of Dominion. Which isn't out of the question for places like Ganem that only has one black candle. Gonna have everything scouted soon too. We just need to get a scout into Silverham and, I guess, Urfel as well. Although we have Dominion here, so we can see that it's empty. Yeah, and so far, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. It might be that this is the only real force he has, which is... well, that would work out pretty well for us. I mean, it is still kind of a scary army. I mean, those archers are no joke. Very nice units, and they do have a bless that kind of makes our bless unhappy, so... yeah, we'll just do what we can. But, you know, this is a start. We'll see how it goes. I definitely need to give a Coral Blade to my Prophet, though, I think. Don't think there's much else to say. We'll have the Palisades on the throne finish next month, which is nice. Still making Alquills, Rabbit Foot Charms, Fires and Jaws, and Robes of Missile Protection. And, yeah, that's it. We've got the Fire and Jars on our Flaming Archer guys at the moment, so just gives them a temporary fire gem. And that's it for turn 26. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hello, welcome back. Throne has been claimed by Burgerus after they've just declared a new prophet. So presumably this is the throne that's in the cap circle. It's the throne of Gaia. Always a bit frustrating when this gets claimed and you start getting attacked by gnomes, but we'll just have to deal with that. Did some more summons, found another site in Pepper Plain. This is a plague water oasis that unfortunately spreads diseases. And also gives you some gems, but I can't remember what gems. I think water. I'll check in a second. Pythium has a new prophet. You've never had it quite so good. And some battles then. So, there's nothing of any great consequence, since we didn't bump a major army. My god went underwater, just hit some, well, nothing, some Shamblers and some Atlanteans. So that one goes fine. There's Shadowsea. Next there was Witch's Copse. This was where the fort was getting built. It remained empty. There's a little bit of PD here. So we have our Sacred just moving into stuff. Do have some of these guys get hit by arrows and die, unfortunately, but all in all, not a big deal. So that is Witch's Copse. Lost one of the Soheis, but we burned down the palisades that was under construction. And lastly, there was Blue Coast. So there was actually a mage in this army. There was this guy, Samog the Prester King, who's a soul butcher. So he's Holy 3, bunch of paths, some cool stuff, I guess. But other than that, it's just a couple of points of PD, units. See our Tengu throwing in their lightning ball. Fortunately, there's not enough stuff here to trigger gem use, so we don't waste any of our gems on spells. And we also don't reveal that we have lightning resistance scripted. Just fly on stuff and kill it. We also lose a few units here as well. Probably to Friendly Arch if I ever had to guess, but hard to tell what kills them exactly. But we take the province. And we also kill that mage, so that's not bad. Yeah, lost a Sohei and 3 Tengu. It's a bit weird, but unfortunately that's just what happened. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone on their side has any kills, so I guess we just clip them with Archer Fire. It happens, I guess. Without Ethereal, we don't have a lot of armor on the Tengu. Yeah, these guys are 4 protection. Yeah, both 4 protection. Not great unless they get hit by wooden warriors, and even then it's not much. But we took 3 provinces, I suppose, so not too bad. There was then what looks like a bump between... well, Agartha takes it off the Muria, and then Atlantis throws, I think it was a scout? Yeah. Scouting, but it's not really... It's just 1 point of PD being taken by a big stack. That's fine. Fairy Mountains, we got 2 events. We got some water gems, and then we got a lab and another iron face and a bunch more gems. This is pretty cool because this is another mountain province, so a free lab means we can recruit Shigenjas out of this, so that's pretty cool actually. Events then, there is an arena deathmatch, and also the Throne of Gaia is doing stuff. We caught a scout on Jomon. Okay. The Palisades on Gamer has been completed. And I bought Ferdinando Footman as well. I think I mentioned this last time, but there was a mercenary company up. It was mostly dead. It had like 12 men. It was really cheap. So I just bid on it, and I didn't think we'd get it. But we did, so we now have Ferdinando and 11 footmen. Not sure if that was worth a bid, but you know, I just liked having expendable chaff in the front of this little stack, so there it is. Anyway, here's the map now. We can see that Genji has either moved the big stack they had to Sermiok or split stuff up. I'm not sure which exactly. But we now see a bunch of Ancestor vessels in Sermiok, and then a few in Tianqi as well. There's also a stack of Pike Footmen in Green Harbor, which is interesting. So not quite what I wanted to see. I was hoping he would have just been turtling in his cap and these 2 forts were empty and we could just march on them freely. Not going to get quite that lucky, it doesn't look like. We will, after this turn, have a scout in every province, so that's cool. Except the underwater ones, but they don't count. So we'll know exactly where Tianqi's armies are at all times. For now, I'm going to take 2 more provinces. In theory, anyway. The little tiny squad that just took Witch's Copse is going to move into green. Oh, where's that site, by the way, before I forget? Plague Water Oasis. Okay, it's 1 death gem. I think that's our first bit of death income. Yeah, okay. So we make gems in every path now, which is cool. Anyway, just thought I'd get that before I forget. Gonna move the little tiny squad into green. Maybe something moves into this, I don't know. But that's the only province they can go to, and I might as well just try and take it, so... Same thing. We've got 11 sacreds, someone to bless them. They'll walk forwards and that'll be fine. There is an ancestor smith in this province who I think is probably a death mage, so... Might take a while to get through the skeletons. But skeletons will have trouble hitting us if we're ethereal, so... Could be okay, I don't know. We'll see. Our secondary little stack is going to move to World Pillar as well, so... Still scripted the same way, just now has the addition of some mercenaries in the front. And they'll just move into this province, and yeah, then we'll have these 3 provinces. Big stack in Blue Coast is not moving just yet. I'm going to site search this for something to do. My prophet's going to preach. And I'm going to make a bunch of items for my prophet because I got nervous. So I'm going to make a bunch of items and fly them over so that he can be a bit more durable. We don't have a water mage in the steel ovens yet, unfortunately, so I'm just making a coral blade over in Unforgiver. And I'm also going to make a shock resist ring for this guy and then give him an iron face. So he'll also have iron skin, which would be cool. So I'll do that just to make sure this prophet's a bit more survivable, because the army really does kind of rely on him, you know? So that's fine. So we'll attack 2 provinces, but the big stack just sits here. And we'd have to walk into quite a lot of enemy dominion anyway, so sitting still and just preaching for a turn probably isn't too bad. We're still making progress if we take both of those provinces. This annoying little pikeman stack could potentially threaten Muspel as well, so my god's just going to fly straight over and defend that. Which might spread to some dominion over here. We lost dominion in Earthhall, which probably doesn't matter too much. But we might spread some to Genham instead. So if this pushes in, we'll defend with our god. He's on Mistform, Astral Shield, Fire closest. And then maybe we'll take Genham after that. Start pushing more dominion around here. Be interested to see what Tianqi does now that he knows he's under attack. Because I want to see if he moves defensively or not. Because it would be nice to pick up these forts for free if he starts pulling back stuff to his cap because he's worried. So if we see this stack move to like Gymport next turn, I think we move into Gymport next turn. But we'll see what happens. Lots of Ancestor Smiths around, huh? Let's see what those mages actually do just to check. Ancestor Smith. So they're only D1, which is nice. They have a Forge bonus. Could potentially be D2. They're probably not going to be doing much Skelly spam though, if they're mostly D1. So that's good at least. They do have magic weapons, maybe they can just melee. I mean, their stats aren't bad, right? Kill a few ethereal sacreds in melee. Probably not, though. Although, you know what? They could give themselves iron skin, they can give themselves skeletal body. Ember flesh wouldn't be half bad. Yeah, that's the bulk of the turn, though. Just going to see what happens next, what the response is. Besides that, we've still got the site searchers doing site searching over here. The search for Earth and Nature in Silver Grove and move to and lead you to look for We have the Fire Mage, slowly walking towards the front. He's got some boots of long strides, but he's still very slow. Even with 20 map move, you can't really get through a swamp and into a forest very easily. So, yep. And moving a few little bits and pieces into Nardigo. We've got some more stuff here now, ready to move out next turn, or maybe the turn after. And I'm still doing summons. There is also the Arena Deathmatch. I was tempted to send a Ryujin with a bunch of air gems and see if they emerge victorious, but I don't know, I chickened out. I decided to just send an Onmyoji instead. Feels kind of bad sending a slow to recruit mage, but these guys come with a Shikigami at their side at the start of each battle, which is an ethereal bird, which might be annoying. So, best of luck to Secret Santa in the Arena Deathmatch anyway. I don't have high hopes, but he might have some success. We'll see. It currently is the turn though. So it's turn 27. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.